All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College online AWD or Application and Web Development 1100 C# programming class for the spring 2024 semester, I've been doing a series of video presentations. And these presentations have been basically based on the PowerPoint slides for the textbook we're using for the course, and that is Muroc C# 8th edition. In addition, I've done some programs, written some link apps, and I want to quickly look at a couple database apps. Now, what I did was I took this, which probably is open already, but that's okay. This was the employee manager that we had, that we worked with a while ago. All right, I'm making it small on purpose, and I realize it's hard to see. But these were the records that were in here. And if we take 34 minus 15, looks like there's about 20 employees in here. And I want to turn this into a database. Now, I'm going to show you this in two different formats. I'm going to first put it into a database management system, or DBMS, called MySQL. And then I'm going to put it into SQL Server. So I'm going to go into MySQL right now, and you don't have to worry about what I'm doing because I'll explain it when we get to that point in the class. But I'm starting up a package I've downloaded that's called XAMPP, which is pronounced either XAMP or XAMP, depending on the book you read. All right? And when I bring this up, it'll look like this. And I want to start up Apache and MySQL. So I'm going to click Start on both of those. And these should turn green. Now it means that's working. Then on the row with MySQL, I'm going to click right here where it says Admin. And it's going to bring up a package called PHPMyAdmin. You don't have to worry about what it does, how it works, or whatever. We're going to spend maybe a day or two just quickly looking at it. All right. And I've got some databases over here. You don't have to worry about what they are because we're not going to do anything with any of them right now. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go to databases, and I'm going to say I want to create a new database. And I'm going to call it Employee DB, Employee Database. And I'm going to say Create. And you'll notice I now have a database over here that says Employee DB. Now it's asking me if I want to create a table, how many columns I want in that table, etc. And I could put all that stuff in. And I'll do that when we get to the SQL server. But for right now, I don't want to do anything here. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to try at least to click Import. And it's going to ask me, what file do I want to import? And I've made one. Again, I'm going to give you all this stuff in class. All right. But what I'm trying to do right here, get rid of this and get rid of this and come over to here. All right. Is I want to come in and I want to create a table that's called employees. And it'll have in it an employee ID. And I don't think identity, now that I think about it, is the right word. I'll have to figure out what it is in a second. First name, last name, social security number, address, city, state, and zip. Why? Because that's the same data we had in our program before that we used in Link. Now I'm going to use it into a database. But I want to do one thing first. How to specify an identity column in MySQL. Auto increment, that's it. Okay, so I want to say this primary key auto increment. Sounds good to me. All right, and I don't need that where it says identity here. All right. So I'm going to take this, and again, I'll give you all this stuff. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. Okay. And then I'm going to come back here to where I just was, in here, and in here, and in here. And now I'm going to come in, and I'm going to go back to SQL here. I'm going to paste that in. All right. Now, it doesn't like something. It says create table employees. I've got 2 commas there. And there. Now it's gone. So I'm attempting to create a new table called employees with this stuff in it. So let's click go and see if it works. And it did. So I now have an empty table. Now I'm going to attempt to put in all of those records that we worked on in our link program. They're right here. So I'm telling it to insert all of this stuff into there. And we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. Now, does it give us any errors? I don't see any errors in here, and that's always a good sign. So let's click go again. And it doesn't like something. It says column count doesn't match value at row 1. All right, and I'll tell you why that's the case. Because in here, I've got employee ID listed, and I didn't use an employee ID. So let's try it again. All right, so I've got this. Let me go back to here. Yeah, we'll leave. Okay, and let's paste this in and see if it works now. Hot dog. I now have a database that is called EmployeeDB, and it has in it a table named employees. That table, if I take a quick look at it, has employee IDs. There's 20 of them. First name, last name, social security number, address, city, state, and zip code. All right. Now, you might say, well, big deal. I'm going to write for you now about, I don't know, 10 to 15 queries so you can see why this is pretty cool, what we just did. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is if I want to select everything from there, I can write this query. I don't need those ticks. So if I want to select everything from employees, okay, I can write that query. Select star from employees. So that will select everything. So I'm going to put these in there. All right. Now, typically, I think if it's 3 of these, something like that, 2 of these, that's a comment symbol in here. So I'm going to write queries. And this will be number 1. Select everything from employees table. So select star from employees. And we're going to see if that works. Okay. So there it is. We click the go button, which is going to be down here. And there's all our data. All right. Like I said, I'll write 10, 20, whatever. Now, what if we just want the first name and last name? Then that's all we specify. So for number 2, select first name and last name only from employees table. And that will be select first name, last name, whoops, no comma, from employees. So let's see if that works. Keep going to this SQL window here because that's where you can write queries. So select first name and last name, click go, and you'll notice I have what? 20 first names and last names. All right. Now, what if I want these names, but I want them in order based on the last name? So I'm going to write the same query, except I'm going to add to it. So query number 3 will be the same query, but when we get done, all right, order by last name, ascending order. I don't think I've got anybody with the same. I might. Maybe I have people with the same last name. So last name, ascending order. First name, ascending order. All right. How do I do that? Well, I've already got the start here. Now, when I do this, I typically break this up like this. We'll go over why when we get to that point. It's not important right now. After we do this, we're going to order by first name. I'm sorry, last name, first name. Last name, first name. All right, so that's our third one. Again, I'm going to go back to SQL here. And I'm going to write that query. And now what you'll notice is Adams, Black, Brown, Bryant. Notice they're in alphabetic order. I've got 2 people with James, 2 with Jones. But notice then if there's a tie like this, it goes by first name. Mike, Sven, Benny, Dick, Jane, Mary, Bill, Kent. All right. All right. What else did we have in here? So let's go back in here again. Sorry. Try that again. Okay, so let's one more time select star from employees. Spell select right. All right, we'll run it and we'll see what else is in here. All right. Well, what if we wanted everybody who lived in Belleville, who had a city in the city of Belleville? All right, so I want everything. So select everything from those employees who live in the city of Belleville. All right, so I can select star from employees. Okay, but I want to say where city equals, and I can use single quotes or double quotes here. I'm going to use single, Belleville. In fact, I not only can you use that, I think it's case insensitive. So I'll put Belleville with a little b, and this should still work. Now, I'm not doing any other sorting, but everybody from here should be from Belleville. And you'll notice we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 employees, and all 6 are from Belleville. Now, what if we wanted these 6, but we wanted these 6 in order based on last name? All right. So we're going to write the same query. So I'm going to copy all that. So this is going to say, select everything from those employees who live in the city of Belleville, sort by last name in ascending order, and then first name in ascending order. All right, we've already got it, but it's just in pieces here. So like that. Select star from employees where city equal Belleville, order by last name, then first name. Again, we should get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 employees. But what you will notice now when we get them is they will be in alphabetic order based on the last name. And there they are. Adams, then Black, then Jones, then Smith, then White and White. And notice it's Bill White first, then it's Kent White. All right. So now let's run this query again, but for number 6, we will say select everything from those employees who do not live in the city of Belleville. All right. And I'm going to do this 2 different ways. So here will be the first way. Not equal, just like that. And let's order this, sort by city ascending, then by last name ascending, then by first name ascending. And again, we're going to do this in 2 different ways. In fact, let me just copy this, and we'll see if we can put them both in here. We'll do them one at a time. All right, so here's the first one, and we want to order it by city, followed by last name, followed by first name. Okay, so we should get from these 2 queries that we're going to write right now, we should get the exact same output from each one. All right, so what do we get? Well, notice, first of all, they're in alphabetic order. Highland, then St. Louis. And there's a lot of St. Louis, but the St. Louis ones then, Brown, Bryant, Kramer, Crane, so they're in order. Green, James, James. Well, there's a match, so Mike, then Sven. Smith and G, and oh, that's Stein. Okay? All right, so that worked. The first one worked. Now I'm going to run it again, and we should get the exact same thing, but I'm writing it with a different query. And that is this one right here. And do we get the same information? And the answer is yes, we do. All right. Now I'm at 20 minutes, probably going to go about 10, 15 minutes more. I don't know. But like I said, I wanted to show you some of the ways that you can write this. So this was way number 1, and this was way number 2. All right. So all these things I've been showing you so far have been selects. We're going to write a few more selects, and then we'll write some of the rest of them. Okay. So this will be number 7. And what else do we have in here? We've got, how about the state? All right, this is going to look very similar to the one we just did, but let's do this by state. All right, so let's come in here and select star from employees where state is equal to Illinois. And again, we'll order it by city, then last name, then first name. All right, so we move this down. So this should be select everything from those employees who live in Illinois. Sort by city. Let's do a descending this time. Descending, last name, ascending, first name, ascending. All right. Well, what changes here is if I'm going to say I want this in descending order, I need to put DESC. Anytime I'm sorting in ascending order, I can put ASC, but since it's the default, normally it's left off. So let's see if we get this. All right. There's Illinois, Highland, and Belleville. We did it in descending order. So we've got Highland, H before B. All right. Then here, we did it by last name. There's a match here, so we went to first name. So far, at least, everything's working. Everything. Now, what I'd like to do before we go on here is I want to go back and I want to look at the program that we did earlier. Yes, I want to go back to Visual Basic, not to here, but to the program that we did on this stuff. And it would have been, we can pick out any of these, but I'm going to pick out this, the console here, program. And this is what we had. All right. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this by criteria. We could do this, but that's going to involve a lot of stuff we have not yet talked about. But I'm going to do this. So I'm going to come down here to where we've been writing all of our stuff. And I'm going to come way down here and put this down here now. All right. We want to show all employees by last name in ascending order. So number 8, we'll say show all employees by last name in ascending order. So I'm going to select star from employees order by last name. Okay, that's not really anything new, but I want to replicate all of these. All right, so let's grab that and let's run it. And last name in ascending order. Now, if there's a match, notice Dick came before Benny. You have no control because all we said to order it by was the last name. Mary Jane. See that? And now Bill does come before Kent, so it doesn't really matter. We can, again, do all these in a lot of different ways. All right, so there's that one. Let's go on. And let's do number 9. And this will be show all employees by Social Security number in ascending order. Okay? So that'll be order by SOS Sec number. All right. So let's run that one. Go and look at, whoop, doesn't like something. 2 errors were found. Whoa. I didn't remove the other query. That should be all right now. All right. So 11100, 11122, etc. You'll notice they are in order. Plus, I've got a couple equal signs in here. That should be fixed. Okay. We'll fix those in a bit. That's good. Give us a chance to do a different kind of query. All right. Let's go up to 10. I'm going to move all this stuff over. All right. So this will be number 10. This is show all employees by city in ascending order. So it'll be order by city. All right. And you'll notice we have all the Belleville people, followed by Highland, followed by St. Louis. So that appeared to work just fine. Next. Number 11. And this is show all by state in ascending order, which means that we're going to come in and do this. And it'll be by state. And let me just grab this last one. It'll be number 12. And that is going to be by zip code. So that'll be by zip code. Okay, this is totally case insensitive. I'm putting keywords in uppercase. The other ones I'm trying to use the way that I set them up in the database itself. So here's by state. And what do we get? We get our Illinois people, followed by our Missouri people. Okay, that looks good. And finally, let's do this one, where we're doing it by zip code here. All right, so by zip code. And we'll run it. And there's our zip code, 62223, 62249, 63313. You can see that, again, it is in order. All right, we're going to do let's do just a couple more. First of all, I mentioned to you before that if we look at the data, that let's say select source sec number from employees. So we're just going to select that one field. All right, so we we type in go. And you notice that that one right there has got equal signs. Well, that was a screw up on the instructor's part. All right. Now, I don't know which one this is, so let's run this again, this select social security number. And when we run it, okay, let's not just put in the social security number, but we're also going to put in the employee ID and the social security number. I just want to see which one that is. So that is employee number 6 that has equal signs in his or her social security number rather than, it has equal signs in there rather than dashes. All right, so let's add a new one. Again, I'm going to make some space here. Okay, so this will be number 13. Update employee ID 6 change current social security number of this to this. Change them to dashes. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to update the table, employees, and we want to set the social security number, SOS-SEC number, all right, to this where, now I could say where social security number is equal to that with these dashes, but I want to say where employee ID equals 6. I only want to make sure I'm changing just that one. Hopefully I wrote this correctly. All right. There it is. Now it doesn't like the 2. Set social security number. Maybe it's just equal. Equal where that. Okay, that's fine. Oops, I need all of it. Every bit of it. Oh, it's in there. So in fact, let's do this. Copy that. Go. Now when it comes back and it says one row affected, it worked. So let me fix this in here. That should be equal. Now to test, run this query. Select star from employees where employee ID equals 6. So we'll check that information and we'll see if that social security number has indeed been changed. And you'll notice, wow, what did it do here? Okay, it did math. Because I screwed up. Not a problem. Let's just fix it. All right. So what I should have done is right here is where I, to change the current number here from this to this, I should have said single quote here and single quote there. Let's run that with just adding the single quotes, even though what we have in here is wrong go. All right, we'll click go, and it worked. Now we're going to run that same test query we ran before. And there is our correct social security number. All right. Now let's do this. Let's take everybody in here who has ST period in their address, and we're going to change it to the word street. Okay. So this will be number 14. Change the ST period in all addresses to street. All right. So again, it'll be an update. Employees set don't know if this is going to actually work, but we're going to try it anyway. Set, no, it's not going to work. Because if I say set address equal to street, their address will only be the word street. All right, so let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's go in and first of all, let's look at our data again. So let's select star from employees. So we get everything. Just taking a quick look. All right, what's something we can change? Let's see. Let's change the zip code for Belleville to 62232. Right now it's 62223. Okay, and it's Belleville. All right, so change the zip code for Belleville to 622. Let's just make it all threes. 63333. Okay, so we will update employees. We will set zip code equal to single quote 63333, where city equal Belleville. Let's see if that works. And then we're going to have to test the query. So we'll run select star from this where city equal Belleville. All right, so we'll run both these queries. Okay, it says 6 rows were affected. So let's run our test query on this to see if indeed it's changed. So now these queries for all 6 of these people should be 63333 if this worked correctly. 63333. All right, let's write a couple more and then we'll call it a period here. Next, I'm going to come in and write add yourself to the employee table. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here because we did an insert a long time ago, and I'm going to just grab one of these, but I'm going to change it so it's me. So insert into employees, all that information, but I don't put in the ID. Take out that ID, and then values. In fact, up here where I put in the employee ID, I want to get rid of that. Okay. And this is me, so I got to make changes. Jeff Scott. Let's put in a whole new, let's just put in all 8s. 888-88-8888. And I'm going to put in the address of where I broadcast from, 755 Parr Road, and that would be in Wentzville, Missouri, and that is 63385. All right, I know I'm the only, in fact, I know there's only the one Wentzville. I know that. So I can test. So to test this, I'll say where this is equal to Wentzville. All right, so we'll see if this works. Looks like it worked. One row inserted. Let's run the test query. See if it comes up with me. There I am, Jeff Scott. Okay. Now, finally, the last thing I'm going to do is remove me from the database. Now there's different ways I can do this, but when I look down here, notice that my employee ID is 21. All right, so the safest way to do this is to say delete from employees where employee ID equal 21. And then we can test it. So let's do this first. In fact, yeah, now we don't put quotes here. That is a number. So let's see if it removes me. So delete from employees where employee ID equal 21. Go. It says, you really want to delete this? Yes, I do. So okay, and it says one row deleted. And we can test it by coming in here and running this. I was the only one in there from Wentzville, if you remember. So I'm going to try it now, and if it comes back with no data, it's gone. And there isn't anybody. Now, what I tried to do in this 46 minutes plus was to do the following. We started by going in here, and we created a new database. Then we added a table to that database. Then we went in and we inserted all of the employee data that we had into that database. Then I ran about 15 or 16 or so queries. Many were select queries. Select queries are read-only queries where we were just reading in some information. All right. After we did that, we went in and we ran some update queries. We had an incorrect social security number in there with equal signs that we changed to dashes. The first time we did it wrong because we didn't put this in single quotes. So it actually did math. That wasn't good. Then we changed the zip code for Belleville, I just made that up, from I think it was 62223 to 63333. All right. Then we added ourselves with an insert into the employees table. Finally, we removed ourselves from the employees table. And when we did these things, when we did operations where we were doing an insert or an update or a delete, we tested to make sure it worked by running an additional query. All right. So I'm going to save this. And I'm going to call this MySQL.txt. When I come back, not this second, but when I come back, I'm going to actually go into Visual Studio and use something different. And I'm going to go in and build, maybe I'll build the song database in there. So you can see that we'll run a bunch of queries, and you'll notice the queries are going to the structure of the queries will virtually be identical. All right, that's about all I have for now. I'll talk to you soon.